So Seele, whichever you like to call her, is our first 5-star limited banner. Some of you may already got her and some of you may have not. Well, let's take a look at what she does and how to utilize her to her fullest potential. She's a quantum element DPS and she walks the path of the hunt. You may think that she's only good against single target, but that's not the case here because she's actually also relatively decent against multiple targets, which makes her far more valuable than any other single target DPS. First, let's take a look at the technique. On using that ability, before entering a battle, you will be able to go into invisible for 20 seconds, which may not look useful right now, but after a couple months of playing this game, you'll start to get annoyed by the enemies constantly trying to attack you, so having that 20 seconds invisibility may give you a peace of mind you're not having to deal with them. While in her invisibility, if you attack an enemy, you will immediately enter into a buff state, which will increase Seele's damage for 1 turn. As for a talent, the moment you defeat an enemy, you would immediately receive an extra turn, plus Seele will enter into a buff state which will increase her damage as well. And a small detail here, you can see that her weapon is actually glowing when she's in her buff state. For a skill, it's pretty simple, do a ton of damage to a single enemy and increase her speed by 2 turns. For ultimate, I think a lot of people may be wondering whether you should enter buff state before using her ult. It doesn't really matter because once Seele activates her ult, she will also immediately enter the buff state. Her ultimate will always be able to receive additional damage provided by her buff. Now as for a combo, I know a lot of people like to do this combo, which is skill, skill, ultimate, skill, which allows you to act 4 times in a round. But do you know that you can actually act 5 times in a round? Take a look at this. Basic attack, skill, skill, ultimate, skill. Now I'm gonna be honest, I didn't figure this out, the AI did. I think Elon Musk is right. For this combo, I don't really think you can do it every single round because you need to stack the right amount of speed provided by her skill and upgrade her bonus ability, which is called the rippling waves, that allows her to advance her action by 20% when she uses her basic attack. Now there is one major problem with all these Seele's combo. She's able to act so many turns in 1 round, which makes her a really good DPS, but at the same time makes her incompatible with your own tank characters. Now take a look at this. Let's say my Japart applies shield to all my allies for 3 turns, right? And then we'll proceed to use Seele's combo. And let's take a look at this. As you can see, her shield only has 1 turn remaining while the others still have 3 turns and 2 turns. And guess what? She's able to act again. So the moment she attacks now, she's gonna lose all her shield before the enemy even attack her. So make sure to be really careful before using Seele's combo. Make sure to not use Japart's ult or Mach 7 shield on her. You can use it after Seele uses her combo. As for traces, all skill, ultimate, and her talent is really important so you can upgrade them equally, besides the basic attack. For her bonus ability, I would recommend you to upgrade Lacerate first because you're able to do more damage in her buff state by having that extra 20% quantum resistant penetration. You could also upgrade the rippling waves if you plan to perform the 5-turn combo that I just showed you earlier. As for a Lightcone, most of them would work, but my favorite would definitely be this one. Subscribe for more. As for this Lightcone, which is called Return to the Darkness, it's very situational and you will only need it once you reach Shenzo Lafu, because you'll start seeing enemy called Mara Struck Soldier. They basically have 2 lives because they can revive, and that revive completely counters Seele's talent, because if Seele can't kill the enemy, Seele can't activate her resurgence. There's 2 options to deal with this. One, you can use this Lightcone to dispel their buff so they can't revive, or the second option, you can include Pella into your team because Pella's ability is able to remove a buff from the enemy. For the Relic, Musketeers or the Genius would be the best option. As for the stats, don't try to waste time farming the perfect stats. Any stats with attack damage, crit rate, crit damage, or speed would be enough. For the planar ornaments, you can either go for Space Sealing Station or the Celestial. Inner Sato is not really recommended because Seele doesn't have a full-out attack. You could still use it, but it depends on you. As for Eidolon, you can either go for E2 or E4. E2 allows Seele to stack her speed boost so you're able to do multiple actions in a given round. E4 regenerates energy the moment you defeat an enemy, which works really well with Seele's talent, allowing you to use your ult more often. For building a team, a tank and a healer is a must, and if you plan to use a tank, make sure to follow my recommendation that I mentioned earlier in the video. For the final member, you can either go with a second DPS or a support like Bronya, because Bronya works really well with her, or if you're in Shinzo Lafu and you don't have that specific Lightcone, you can include Pella as well to deal with those enemies.